Robert Moses was the security guard here at this Waffle House who fatally shot Anthony Warren. I'm live outside Heritage Elementary in Lake of the Ozarks, where just a few houses down from the back of the school, police discovered a house full of drugs. So many questions unanswered after DeBrody was found encased in concrete nearly a year ago. The city owns 5 of the homes set to be demolished, and these are 2 of them. However, some residents that live just up the street say these homes have potential and should be fixed up. The first act of the night just finished up. They just got off the stage, and the doors open for the entire event tonight. Today in court, nearly a dozen people took the stand against James Hall. He faces an arson charge connected to a fire from December of 2014. Jennifer Wilson is a key witness for the prosecution. She says 41-year-old James Hall was hired to set a mobile home on fire, not knowing someone was inside.
He did it, and it went up like a blaze of glory.
The original complaint says Hall set fire to the mobile home, recklessly putting the person living there in danger. She survived but was injured. Wilson, the woman identified as JW in the probable cause statement, said she remembers a phone call with Hall and his boss, Mirdad Futahayem, also known as Mike.
I remember hearing that he was getting ready to go do this, meaning that he was going to go do the arson.
Futahayem is awaiting a trial of his own for other related crimes. The judge says closing arguments will happen tonight. KMU8 News at 9 and 10 will have more updates on this case. Reporting live in Columbia, Caroline Peterson, KMU8 News. It seems routine. Going to the pharmacy, picking up a prescription.
I think it's important for patients to know that they need to advocate for themselves at times.
When you pick up your meds, you usually pay a copay, which is a type of payment where your insurance company pays a portion of the cost and you pay the rest. But what is going on behind the counter that pharmacists are not legally allowed to tell you about? Chances are you won't know what's happening.
You should be just very aware of what you're paying and why.
KMU8 received dozens of documents from Missouri pharmacists showing, in some cases, insurance companies are upcharging you for some of the most commonly prescribed medications.
Better examples.
Pharmacists call it a clawback.
A clawback is typically a patient is charged a specific fee based on their insurance company, and they pay that copay, and then the pharmacist provides a service. Problem is, some of the copays are exceeding what the actual cash price of the drug is.
The most common insurance company in the documents, Cigna. Here's just one example. A patient paid about a $68 copay for their generic ADHD medication. The cash price, if you don't use insurance, is about $50. But with patients paying the copay, Cigna actually pocketed nearly $22 from the customer and pharmacy as a clawback. The pharmacy benefit manager, or PBM, is the middleman between the insurance company and the pharmacy. They set the prices.
It appears that a good part of the clawback that's going back to the PBM is the burden of the patient.
It's actually a higher cost for the patient than if they just went ahead and paid cash for the product.
Cigna has its own PBM, while another insurance company in our documents, Catalyst RX, goes through another. Here's an example from Catalyst. A doctor prescribed this medicine to treat a bacterial infection. The copay was about $67. But the pharmacist says they sell this drug for $19 cash. The patient could have paid about 4 times less money than they did, while the PBM walked away with $58. Pharmacists are required to collect the copay. But then,
Pharmacy benefit manager comes in and grabs that difference between what the patient actually paid, their copay, and what they reimbursed the pharmacist.
Here's another example of a clawback on generic Tamiflu. This patient paid a copay of $115, and the cash price for this drug is roughly $85. The customer could have saved $30. When it comes to the patient and pharmacy, nobody seems to win. Can you tell a patient that they have a lower option if they don't ask?
We are not supposed to.
Contracts with certain companies restrict them from doing so.
We are trained to say, hey, if they ask, if the patient asks, hey, let's see what your cash price is. But until that point, we are not supposed to mention it.
You know, they have to do it based on what the insurance company dictates. Our feeling is the patient at least ought to have that information, but pharmacists cannot share it.
I reached out to Cigna and Optum RX, which is the PBM associated with Catalyst. Cigna responded saying, in part, quote, a pharmacy should charge Cigna customers the lowest price available under their plans. We encourage pharmacists to share all options with customers as they struggle to manage the rising costs of prescription drugs. Optum did not respond. Right now, Missouri has a House bill addressing this issue. It would stop the clawback practice as well as allow pharmacists to be transparent with you about your options. There are currently 12 other states with bans on clawbacks, gag orders, or both. And we want to hear about your experiences. If you found a difference in your drug prices by paying without insurance or feel you have paid more than you should, KOMU wants to know about it. Share your story with us by email, Facebook, or visit our website at KOMU.com. On our web store, you can also view a list of common medications associated with clawbacks. In the studio, Caroline Peterson, KOMU 8 News. What do you think of when you hear this or see this? Looks can be deceiving.
We are out to fight and hopefully one day eradicate abuse in all its forms.
Defenders of the Abused, or DOA, is a national group helping victims of abuse. There are 3 chapters in Missouri. One is in Fulton.
We'll sit in court cases, you know, we'll camp out in front of their houses. We'll do anything to make that victim feel safe.
These guys might look intimidating, but believe it or not, you don't have to drive a big Harley to be a part of the group.
It's like having a group of big brothers.
For the DOAs, abuse is personal.
He felt that he wanted to help other people that were in the situation that I had been in, because I basically did it on my own.
This season is the hardest time for many families.
We adopt a family for Christmas. To help somebody who's in that position to grow with our community, that's what we want to do.
So I'm pretty excited to get to play Santa Claus. I look kind of rough and I'm missing the white beard, but...
A group of teddy bears on bikes. Caroline Peterson, KOMU 8 News, Fulton.